Hello, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. We're back today with issue 101 of the Hachette Partworks release of Titanic, the ship, the legend. So, what's in the magazine for issue 101? Two friends with different destinies. An article about two friends, one of whom was kidnapped, which normally wouldn't be a good thing, but as a result, he missed his boat. He missed the boat, so to speak, with Titanic, and as a result survived. Where his friend, who inherited his luggage, did not, sadly. And it's an artist's impression of Titanic in Belfast Lough on the 2nd of April, taking part in the sea trials. Again, the same article, and that is also a movie impression of Titanic leaving Southampton Dock. An advert in the New York Times, and an advert, of course, for the return crossing, which obviously didn't happen. And again, there is an underwater image of Titanic from the documentary Ghosts of the Abyss, which was also directed by James Cameron, incidentally. There's an article on Ollie Evinrude's outboard motor, and that takes us on to our parts. So, without further ado, let's see what's in the box today. Okay, so what's in today's box? We have a brown baggie, which has a cover on it. We have a wire with what looks like a headphone jack, and some weird wiring. We have a bag of AP screws, and we have support 1, that's what we're calling it. Basically, we're working on the stand now, so we don't need the ship at all for the next, certainly for the rest of this pack, really. We don't need, well, anything that we've worked on previously. So the first thing it tells us to do is to unravel the cable. Now you can see there, both sides of this strut have a hole in them to accommodate it. Now we're putting it into this side here. Yeah. And it goes in, looks like, with the bracket facing towards the middle, from what I can see there. And it should slot in. You can see there's a gap in the wire there. That should fit into the hole to keep it secure. Now just make sure you tuck the wires in so they're not over the top of that screw hole. And then we're taking the wire, the plug, and posting it through the hole in the bottom. Just like this. Now again, you're wanting to, I've pulled it all the way through just to keep that in place. It doesn't actually say in the instructions how far through to pull the wire, or if you have to leave any of it loose. In fact, the picture it shows you has it all pulled through and then coiled back up. So again, just making sure that's nicely seated like that. We're taking the cover with the 4 screw holes and pushing it into place, and that should hold that in very nicely. It's very thick plastic, it feels very sturdy. I was quite worried because of course Titanic is big and she is heavy, but this feels sufficiently solid. So again, just line up one of the AP screws. Again, you're going into plastic, so you don't need to be too brute force with it. How tight is tight enough? That is the question. At least with cars you have torque specs. With models you have, don't do it too tight or you'll strip the threads. Again, you just have to make sure you don't pinch the wire in any of these holes, which is why I pulled it tight all the way through, was so that I didn't end up pinching anything. Because you don't want to be doing that. Final screw going in there, just like that. And that is all there is to do in issue 101. So, that's us for issue 101. What's coming in issue 102? Support number 2, the other wire for support number 1, and the cover for support number 1, along with some screws. So again, not too much to do in issue 102, or 103, or 104 for that matter. This is going to be a pretty quick month. But again, that's what we've built today. So again, we're going to have a plug there. So both of these will plug into the electronics that we fit in the hull at a later date. So it's important to get this done. And again, it's one of these things with Partworks, isn't it? Everything has an impact. This, obviously, by the time we're done with these 4 issues, you have the full stand almost. And, you know, it's what it is. We're getting close to the end, really. We are, after this pack, we have 36 issues to go. So there's still quite a lot to do. We've still got the stern, the poop deck, all the rigging, we still have all the electronics, we still have to put everything together. But up until stage 106, we're not doing any of that. So it'll be interesting to find out going forward what we're doing. But thanks very much for watching. As always, any feedback, comments, criticisms, apart from about my shirt, because you're never too old for a fiery shirt, or about my ponytail. A year ago I cut my ponytail off for my brother's wedding, but it's back. Finally my hair is long enough to put my ponytail back in. Yeah, any feedback, comments, criticisms, drop them below. Do leave me a like and consider subscribing, because it helps out massively with the YouTube algorithms. But yeah, thanks for watching, and as always guys, peace out everyone.